Hello, how's everyone doing? Welcome to the audio jungle. Just kidding, we have a new intro video. We got some new graphics in the pipeline we're very excited about. We're gonna get a little fresh makeover and we're gonna be the best we've ever been. So hang tight, coming soon. How is everyone doing in the chat? We got Twisted, we have Cheese, we have Wacom, we have Todd. The gang is here. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for tuning in on this beautiful day. I went on my lunch break for a big walkabout, and unfortunately, yeah, there's like a park that's nearby that's still closed because of all the trees that fell over during our snowstorm. So I just had to like do a big loop through the neighborhoods, but it was nice. I'm feeling energized. I'm ready to draw some mechs. Maybe color this one a little bit. Thanks, Potato, for being here. If you lurk, I don't know if you're here or not. No, thanks for being here. Yeah, that was we have homework club going on. I think we have pretty much everyone who is on here who is interested in it has probably already signed up. So thanks for doing that. In case you are a lurker, would like to hang out with us and basically be accountable, help yourself out with a personal project and give yourself some deadlines and have some feedback from other people on your project and just help each other stay on top of what we want to set out to do. Homework Club is a free, chill, digital, virtual meetup that we do every other week. It usually runs for like 2 months, so this will be our second time doing it. So we're still kind of building our core group. Hopefully, we have some return club members, and yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do for mine. It's going to be something I've been wanting to do for a while, but it is really like I need someone to shoot the gun in the air and tell me, like off to the races, and for me to actually jump into it. So I think it'll be the perfect situation for that. So yeah. What are we doing? All right. I drew this last week. I initially did this with just like pen on paper, and then I scanned it in and colored it. I might go back to this today if I get bored of my other drawing. I think I'm going to maybe warm up here for a second. And then I'm going to draw another one, this time on the trusty Cintiq. So we'll see if it turns out different. Though one thing that I did enjoy about this drawing is it was pretty fast. Like it probably took me like a couple hours to draw, and then which I guess isn't like fast, but it's fast in my book. Comparatively to when I have Control Z, sometimes that can lead me to draw nothing because I just keep undoing it and like finessing things and like using the lasso tool to like move stuff around and scale it up and down. So having all that like flexibility that is great of digital, sometimes like it just is that sort of like decision paralysis. Whereas when I'm on paper, I'm just like, it's ink on paper. You can't. I did actually use gouache to like white out an accident, but that's more effort. So, yeah, let me quickly, just gonna mess around with this. Hopefully we make some progress on another drawing today. See what happens. What's going on here? All right. So yeah, last week I kind of just sort of sectioned out some of these parts. And now I can use the lock transparent pixels, my favorite feature, kind of go in and just like, yeah, add shadows really easily, add highlights. We tried using Adobe's color scheme creation tool, Adobe Color, and didn't really stick to it because I didn't know how to use it. Perhaps anyone that can do mech art. Thank you. I hope that's me. I hope I'm included in that. Yeah, I don't know. Like for a second I was like, man, none of this is like functional. Like there's a part of me that's like, I want parts of it to be like utilitarian and be like technical, where it's like, this is the pistons that like, or the suspension for this would go here, and but like, I don't know. Sometimes I just think fantasy art and like sci-fi art should just be, I just was going full like cool factor on this one, so it doesn't matter if it works or makes sense. It's just like, I just want it to look cool. She's got a screwdriver. Oh, let's see. Okay, let's try some highlights, or maybe I'll like put a little shading on this fabric. Is this color? Yes. Yeah, the blinker fluid reservoir, perfect. I know. Yeah, I don't think there needs to be logic to it. Thank you, Todd. Do some shadows here. Let's do like some shadows, some highlights, and then maybe I'll be warmed up at that point. Move on to some new stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah. She will destroy you. She will disassemble you. Zoids. Man. I feel like I have to look that up. I totally remember. Oh yeah. Yes, I loved that show. I need to look at this now. That show was really, it was a show, right? There was like, yeah. It used like a lot of like 3D for the robots, but then everything else was like 2D anime. I was big into that show. That one probably influenced me more than I would like to think. It was like the perfect formula. Like it was just like it's like a robot tournament where it's just like two different robots square off or two giant mechs square off in a battle arena, and it's like a tournament style, and it's like, yeah, it was perfect. And it was just, each episode was like a different battle, or like it would usually carry across like multiple episodes, of course. But yeah, it would be like, we've never seen this robot before, and it like has a special ability or like some kind of like trick that they have to solve. It was pretty dope. I love that show. Thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, I'm just like looking at Zoid stuff now. Okay. All right, I'm back to drawing. No, it's okay. I know. This is the other problem of drawing digital is I have the internet at my fingertips at any given moment. Wait, I missed something. What did Todd say? Midnight Star. I don't know. Okay. I'm kind of a Gundam poser. Like, I like Gundam, but I can't really say I like Gundam because I've only watched, like, what was it? I've watched some of the earlier Gundam stuff. There was one that I watched the full season of, and it was pretty good. It was very, like, space Vietnam. I know that sounds kind of weird, but like it was just like weird like 90s animation, and it was like took place on this kind of like jungle planet, and there was like resistance fighters, and like the pilot was like coming in as this kind of like police force basically, and then like one of the pilots realizes that they're like doing stuff wrong, and that they're like they end up like joining the resistance fighters, and kind of cliche storyline, but the animation was really cool, like traditional animation. It was very nice. Yeah. Midnight Star, I'll check it out. I lost what I was doing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely an anime noob. I'm an anime poser for sure. I like I there's only I can only really get into a show if it has like a very finite like time investment. Like the ones that I'm like are candidates for me to watch are like an anime that's like 2 seasons, or like has like 8 episodes or something like that. I'm like, okay, I'm on board. Um, but yeah, I have commitment issues when it comes to just like, do you want to get into One Piece? It's like a 800 episodes or whatever. I can't. In my peripheral, I see the chat like going. I'm scared to look. Okay. Oh yeah, roller rinks. I gotta bring back roller rinks. I went to there's one in Oaks Park, right? That roller rink in Portland. I went there once, and I that was when I for some reason I thought I could just like go like put on some roller skates and be fine. And I was probably like 20. I don't know. It was some years back, but I was, oh my god, I was terrible. I cannot roller skate or roller blade for the life of me. This is some anime knowledge here, Todd. Dehydrated. Oh, degraded. I was like, what am I? I'm seeing double here. Degraded the digital to make it look like a 90s animation cell. Interesting. That's cool. I mean, I do love the 90s animation style. Just like that's hand drawn, correct? I mean, it's all hand drawn, but you know what I mean. The Todd Knowledge. Skate Castle. That's amazing. That's a fun theme. Yeah, I grew up in Chico, California, and I remember going to a roller rink there. I forget what it was called, but it was like pretty typical. It was like just kind of like black light sort of vibe. Like it had like a cosmic theme sort of to it, like nighttime bowling alley style, glow in the dark stuff. Remember that 90s carpet very, very distinctly. And yeah, just going around like trying to win prizes off the arcade games and drinking Slurpees, all sorts of stuff, or whatever those like freezies are. What a time to be alive. Miss bowling. Yeah, it's a fun activity. I can't say I'm totally miss bowling. I feel like I always like a little bit dread going bowling, but I think once I'm there, it's fun. Yeah. Yeah, bowling wouldn't be very COVID friendly, I'm guessing. But this is all in a theoretical world where a post-COVID world that we're imagining. These boots are pretty wild. Just walking around with like two giant bricks on your feet. What else? Okay, I'm gonna try some highlights. Perchance. Posture check. You're right. You're right. As I look at my thumbnail, I'm very slouched. Ugh. I'm doomed. This is just what I get for being 6'5" and choosing drawing as my thing. This is the life I chose. Yes. I have not been to a Dave & Buster's, actually. But I would probably... I'm guessing they have bowling. I would, yeah. Love me some arcades. Some House of the Dead. Some Jurassic Park. I think I know which one you're talking about. Okay. I'm glad it's not just me. I definitely, like, I will see myself in photos, and, like, I always have this, like, forward head kind of thing going on. I have all the typical bad posture habits, like the anterior pelvic tilt, the forward head. Ugh, I should go see a chiropractor. Need help. All right, sitting up straight. I don't have any excuses really, because I have this. I'm borrowing this ergo stand from the Experience Center, which is like, my Cintiq is very upright. I should be able to do this. It's good form. Yeah, I'm wondering how Sun Mountain Fun Center is doing in Bend, which is another more so where I grew up in Oregon. But it was like this entire compound basically of just like bowling and go-karts and arcade and batting cages and when I've been I mean, I'm glad to see people are showing up to support Enchanted Forest, which is like a place in Oregon, not too far from Portland, but it's like a kind of like mom and pop like amusement park that has a lot of charm. But yeah, they have all this like GoFundMe kind of stuff going on, and looks like, yeah, people are showing up to support it, so it's nice. Bye. Thanks for stopping in. We'll be here till 4 o'clock. This is maybe too safe of a highlight. It's okay. Kind of just trying to keep this one like flat. I don't really want like painterly sort of stuff going on. I sort of just want like flat colors. Another thing that I could try is can like do like a line hold where you, I mean I've been leaving all my line work black, but I could like lock that layer and maybe try some kind of going in, adding some like kind of like rim lighting or reflected lighting. Looks a little weird when I don't know. Maybe we'll think about that. We'll leave that in our back pocket. It could be good for some of these spots. Maybe. Can't tell if I like it. Yeah, enjoy some sun. I know I went on a walk before this because I was like, it's too nice out. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I'm reaching a point where I'm just like, I don't really know what to do at this point. Besides get into like little tiny details. Maybe we just call it done. Try, maybe let me see what like big highlight looks like. Aggressive highlight. No. Shiny. What even brush am I on? I wasn't even looking, like, I was just like, yeah, this brush is fine. Find one of my usuals. See, if I wanted to confidently go in and add cool highlights, I would probably need to like do some like metallic studies. But maybe I feel like I should just leave this as kind of like a matte gray. Would be interesting though. Yeah, no, I don't know what I'm doing. You need reference. Oh, just Control Z like a bunch of stuff. Whatever. I can't tell a difference. I also didn't really look at reference for the screwdriver either. In this far-flung future, people still just use that Phillips screwdriver. This is the Home Depot Mech. I have to make the rival Lowe's Mech next. I'm gonna turn my music down a bit. I desperately need to find different music, but I'm just gonna turn it down so that if anyone's listening to me, they don't have to. They can put on their own music. Let's do some highlights on the pants. I think I've said this before, but I think like painting like models and like Warhammer models and little figurines, like has kind of influenced my like drawing, like coloring sensibilities a bit. I think for the better, but I definitely, I think it made me a little more conscious about highlights. I'm not really, I'm kind of playing it safe on highlights on this one, but like, I feel like when you have a model, you have to do kind of more than you think to make it pop. Like, you kind of want to, I at least always want to stay like subtle with my colors, but if you have everything and there's like not enough contrast, then like on the table everything kind of like is muddled and it doesn't really, nothing stands out to you. So you have to like definitely do a lot of like what they call like edge highlighting and like dry brushing to try to like pull out some of the details, and you have to use really bright colors, like brighter than you think, to get them to like read at a distance. So um, it's definitely makes you think. What was I doing? All right, let's do. Let me just do the hand real quick. Maybe I just leave the hand. Don't know. I think I should just move on to a different drawing. Just done. Background could be a thing, but I feel like I'll just take too long. Maybe I'll just try to do like a quick background. Hmm, we'll see. We'll see how it looks. Background might get painterly. I feel like I want like a watercolor background. I don't really use the watercolor brushes too much in Photoshop. Oh, too many brushes. Too many brushes, Kyle. Just kidding. Never enough. I guess I could search watercolor. Have Todd's approval. Thank you, Todd. Hmm. Okay, let's just roll with it for a second. Some kind of cool little just like spot illustration where the background doesn't fully extend. It's just like a little vignette. I think watercolor was the right choice. I'm I have like a look in my head of like once I did this, I was like, oh, this could look like a 90s anime thing. Just very like soft, like yeah, like watercolors and see how it do. I am going to draw some rocks. Absolutely. I don't really have any like kind of story for the background, so I'm defaulting to rocks. I don't know if it might just be distracting. Try something new. Try something weird. Okay, so the watercolor brush has a clear function, which means I can do the thing that I like to do in watercolor, which is like lay down color and then kind of use just like a brush with water to just sort of like lift the color off certain areas and create basically highlights that way. We'll see if it works. Looks a little weird to me right now. I say. Puns. Oh, that one's from Wacom. 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 I just imagine if someone like just tuned in and it's just me being like, Wacom, Wacom. There's like, what am I coming into here? Too much. What else? What else besides rocks? I don't want to look at reference photos. Rocks are the only thing I can do if I don't have to look at reference. I could do buildings too. This mech is kind of like construction mech. So maybe there needs to be some kind of, yeah, that background looks junky. I don't like it as it stands. Dust, a puddle. These are all good. Excuse me. Oh, it's still unclear. I don't think. some caution tape. That would require, once again, reference. I'm not gonna get too attached to this background because I don't think I like it. But it's Experimental Wednesday, so I'm gonna keep trying. I'm just gonna leave it. Abandon, abandon, delete. Okay. Solid background? Question mark. But what? Maybe I just need to try a different brush. Maybe I'll go back to my oil ways. Even though I don't really enjoy oil painting in real life. I like oil painting digitally, because I don't have to have crazy chemicals to thin my paints. Kind of into this like kind of like pale, kind of coral colors for the background. Maybe. So I want the orange on her to pop, so I don't want to add more orange elsewhere. Problems. Yeah, I'm gonna give up on the background right now. I don't have a solid idea or plan or inspiration to do it, to be honest. All right, so I'm just gonna leave that as is. Let's just put a shadow. How about that? See if I can do that. Maybe this is all we need. Just a little element like that to ground it. Might even get crazy and throw a little plant in there. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I saw some footage. I think some of the footage from Mars. It was pretty wild, but I'm sure this is new. I'll check it out. I guess there was like the footage that I saw. They like didn't actually have the sound, but like someone put what they thought the sound would be on it, and so like it was like half fake, kind of. They were like trying to make it sound all like spacey and weird. It's disappointing. Okay, we'll move on. Maybe. I don't know why I'm attached to this being like a vignette, but I think that looks worse. So I'm gonna Just leave it. Just leave it. Okay. Cropped. Done. Swamp Mech. Get out me swamp. Looking at my drawing pad and see what dimension that was. Oops. Okay. Blank canvas. Thanks, Todd. Last time I did just start drawing shapes and it just sort of came together. Maybe I'll do that. Just same process, just not think about it too much. This one was very chunky and big. I feel like I just want to intentionally do one that's more like lanky and or like spiky or something, some kind of other shape that would make it different. Now we're doing mech number 2. But yeah, I'm just gonna draw, man. Just gonna vibe, man. See see what happens. I think yeah, it is a very different experience drawing digitally just because right now I'm like I am just sketching essentially, which on the other one I basically did not sketch. I just went straight to final because I already don't like this. So I'm gonna start over. And this is what I feared. I'm gonna paint this mech. It's, realize it's very cold down here. Okay. I'm gonna turn on my space heater and grab some more water. Be right back. I return. I'm gonna start with like a person and then draw the mech suit kind of around them. Sort of keep it that same like it's not quite a mech, I suppose, but similar. It's like an exoskeleton, open top, convertible mech. What do I want this dude to be doing? The other one was like a repair person. I want this guy to have a gun, but I shouldn't do that. Not for the stream. That's what I would draw if I was having fun. Okay. But now I'm doing serious work and I'm making it PG. And so I'm going to make him have a spear. There we go. Crossbow? Yeah, that's a good idea actually. That's more creative in general. That's more fun. More fun. Yeah, that could work. Bow is cool. Let's start over. This is this is why I can't draw digitally. I'm gonna paint. Painting. Forgot this was a big canvas. I'm gonna lower the resolution a little bit. My brush is kind of chugging along there. Let's go 150. I feel like I need to start with like a cool gesture first, where it's like I need like a cool pose to go off. Found it. And then after that, I kind of want to find like the general shape. I think I want like real skinny legs. Big upper body. Laser crossbow. I still haven't seen Mandy. I know I've said I've said I was going to, but just I keep forgetting. It's got Nick Cage in it. What what other reason do I need? It's looking like the Dragon Ball Z outfits. Just kind of trying out different brushes, like different approaches, just to find any kind of like shapes or basically anything that excites me. I know that sounds kind of sad, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm using this brayer that I put pressure dynamics on, color dynamics, so it's like kind of get the full kind of like grayscale painting without changing colors and just using pressure. And then I'm kind of liking this like hard sort of like chisel shape right now because it's just giving me yeah, some interesting very like geometric sharp edges. So I might probably find something with this. No, I painted it on the background layer. You fool. Oops. God damn it. Ah, people messaging me on Teams. All right. I need to mute that. I know Gray was asking me for some After Effects advice. Hopefully he's not watching. Yeah, I'm kind of struggling with this one. What if I tried the symmetry? This could be interesting. Hmm. This might be a good jumping off point. I definitely won't keep the symmetry, but since I'm a little having a hard time with inspiration at this point, I think I'm just gonna try some weird stuff. It's like a Power Ranger or something. This is fun. I don't think I'll be able to make anything usable out of this, but this is interesting. Those halftones show up kind of crazy on the stream. Painting with halftones. Sometimes like having, I think like the extra kind of noise that halftones make just helps me just get like a little more info on the page, and then I start to like see some kind of shape or pattern that looks cool, and then I can kind of like build off of that. So Trying some different stuff out. Kind of finding a silhouette that looks pretty wild on there. Like when the screen tones are shrunk down, they look kind of crazy. But I'm just gonna use it as like kind of like an underpainting. I'll do some line art on top of it. Um, but maybe I'll just gonna draw on top of it. This mech may very well end up being in the same family as the previous one. I'm realizing these shapes are similar, but I'm rolling with it. Oh, dropping stuff. Well, one day, we will draw another mech. Yeah, it must have been inspired on this one. Um, and I'm also realizing these are like the same pose so far. Delete, delete, delete. That's gonna do it for us today. Oh man. Yeah, I think I need to do these on paper, apparently. And then do the digital coloring. That process worked for me. Um, yeah, thanks for hanging, everyone. I think we're gonna call it a little early here. Christopher will be on Friday doing some packaging design, and that will be exciting. Also doing robots, so we have a theme going for the month. Not really. Um, but yeah, Christopher will be on Friday doing some packaging design. Next week we have a Cintiq showdown, so that'll be exciting. Those are always a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that. And I believe Christopher will be next Friday as well. So um, yeah, and Megan's on Monday. So plenty of content coming down the pipeline. Um, Sorry for a bit of a shaky stream today. I just couldn't quite get in the zone on this one. But yeah, I will prep some more stuff for the next time I stream, and hopefully that'll work. Thanks, everyone. Take it easy. Enjoy the sunshine if you're in Oregon, and we will catch you next time. Goodbye.